Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to episode 5, perhaps 6 of Mutcho's Mysteries. Today I'm in my hometown, Macduff, and today's mystery is the best yet. And I'm dealing with the mystery of Dr. Walford Bodie and why he isn't still celebrated. Because at the turn of the last century, he was the most famous man on earth. Quote, fact, he was the highest paid entertainer in the world, and he's buried up there, Doon Church. If you can see that church up on the hill, that's where Dr. Walford Bodie is buried. Now, to give this some context, Dr. Bodie was friends with Harry Houdini, Charlie Chaplin. Okay, so here I am walking up the path leading up to Macduff Parish Church, aka Doon Church, or Doon Kirk if you're a local. The kirk sits right at the top of a hill overlooking the harbour in Macduff. It's a main feature, and from out at sea it's got a magic about it. It towers above Macduff. Over there is where Dr. Walford Bodie lies. It's got a huge, which you'll see, a huge gravestone with an angel on top. Fitting, because the man was larger than life. In life, it's only appropriate he's like that in death. Let's go and see. So here we actually are at the actual gravestone. And the funny thing is, right next door to where Walford Bodie lies is my school, Shan Street School. I went here back in the well, I'm not going to say, but I went here. And here it is. Here it is today. I think it's houses. Basically, the facade is exactly the same, but obviously the inside's different. There isn't hundreds of primary school kids shouting. This is where Walford Bodie lies. I think you'll agree it's quite something. And like I said, walking up the hill, quite fitting. Majestic, towering, monolithic, gothic, dramatic. Everything that Dr. Walford Bodie was. And hopefully one day will be again in the eyes of the public, Joe Public. The railings are getting a bit worse for wear, a bit rusty. But it looks... I don't know what the railings are for. I mean, I don't know who they're to keep out. Small children. But as a grown-up, you could over that in a second. But why would you want to? Why would you want to? In loving and affectionate memory of my dearly beloved wife. Oh, his wife's buried here. Jean Henry Bodie, who fell asleep at the Manor House in Macduff, which we'll go and see. On January the 24th, 1931, age 64. I'm not going to go into great detail with Dr. Bodie and the things he's done, because to be honest, I've got 5 minutes and it's far too much. So if you want to find out, hopefully you will, go onto Wikipedia, there's multiple sites, and find out. But needless to say, I remember my granny my grandma as I called her, when I was little, tell me all these stories. And the one that kind of sticks and resonates is when he had a lady, I can't remember who it was, I think she was called Lady Electra, and she was suspended over in Banff, which was the cinema in Bridge Street in Banff. She was suspended mid-air for a week. Now, telling a kid that, your mind just goes into utter overdrive. I mean, it's like witchcraft, it's magic, it's phantasmagoria, it's got all the elements that should spark a young kid's mind, and it definitely did mine. And I was also told about how his house had secret passages and Just all these kind of things that made it that bit special. Mysterious. This is where they used to have the water fountain that was dedicated by Dr. Bodie. But it's been here for almost 100 years and now it's gone. I've no idea where it is. If anybody has, please answer in a postcard. I used to come here with my mum when I was just that high and drink out of the fountain. As I remember it, it had your typical thing on each face, a little tap thing, or it was, I don't know, it had like a thing that spluttered out water. Tasted great. Filled you with magic. And now it's gone. Macduff, what are you up to? But in that house behind me, that is actually where Dr. Walford Bodie stayed. Apparently there's secret passages, mysticism and all sorts. It's still a house, so I don't want to snoop about too long, but I think it's important that you see it. This is by the by, but just over there, up there, is the Osborne Bakery, and that's where I worked as a meshes boy. I've told my mates all about this. Nobody really cares. Nobody knows the hardship. I did it for £5 a week. Seagulls are out in force today. There's always millions of seagulls at Macduff. It's a sound that annoys some people, but it's a sound that I find very, very relaxing and pleasurable. Maybe it's, I think it could be seagull mating time when they've got their eggs and stuff. It's always in the summer holidays. Anyway, we're not here to talk about seagulls. I'm here to talk about Dr. Walford Bodie. So that's the story of the doctor. There is actually funny stories regards his doctorship. His doctorship, if we can call it that, was challenged by the medical profession, and there was actually a trial held in Glasgow, and there was huge protests by the doctors who didn't like it. They infiltrated the trial and started causing a ruckus, shouting, I can't remember, it was something like fake, 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 quack, quack, quack. I'm paraphrasing. It was something of that nature. And they took him to task and asked him why he used the prefix MD. And he said it stood for Merry Devil. Now, with Macduff in the background, in this beautiful, haunting place, I can think of no better way to end this mystery. Can you? Answers down below. Catch you later. I've found it. The fountain has actually been moved here at the bottom of Skene Street. I didn't know this. I don't know how many people knew this. And I don't know how many people understand the insignificance. Anyway, regardless, this is it. This is the fountain presented to the Borough of Macduff by Dr. and Mrs. Walford Bodie in memory of their daughter Jeannie. It's a beautiful construction. 1910, so it's actually more than 100 years old. Wow.